Greetings, Anastasia. My name is Samokelo Makhanya. I saw that you, the one that sent me the email in terms of recruiting for the HR manager in South Africa for your company. My name is Samokelo Makhanya. As I said, I am based in Johannesburg. I'm based in Johannesburg in Auckland Park, West Dean. And I worked with Johnson & Johnson. It's a global company, as you know. And the one thing that I love about my experience, the previous experience, is that I just recently left the working place because of the fact that the distance, it was also too far from where I was staying. So I had to leave and I had to come. I had to make a tough decision for myself in terms of leaving the company. But one thing that I will tell you is that it was a great experience while working with Johnson & Johnson as an HR officer. I also worked with Bella Vista School. It's a private school, and I worked as the HR administrator. I did my internship with them first, and I also worked as a receptionist, front desk. So all the receptionist duties. So I initially come from a different province, which is based in Free State. Right now located in Gauteng province because of work and because of school and studies and all of that. I studied HR diploma in Central Johannesburg College, and I graduated in 2019 and then did my practicals with Bella Vista School. And I'm a sports person. I love sports. I'm always active. I'm always active during afternoon activities. Even after work, I still go take part into athletics. I still take it as my career. And then after that, I also go for rugby if there is time on weekends, sometimes maybe. The one thing that you guys also mentioned was telling you more about the previous position that I was in. I was working more. I was more of an assistant in terms of the HR leaders of South Africa for Johnson & Johnson. So the human resource department, what they did was they broke it down into different fields as human resource itself. So what they did was they would have somebody that handles policies. They would have somebody that handles different types of leaves, or there's somebody that audits the leaves. They would have someone that was doing recruitment and interviews that they would have. So what they did with me, because I was starting with the company, what they did was they allowed me to be an all-rounder in terms of all positions that are under HR department. So I was assisting in terms of the supply chain. I was assisting in terms of recruitment and interviews. I was assisting in terms of the warehouse for the human resource. I was assisting in terms of reporting to the human resource leader of South Africa for Johnson & Johnson, which her name is Thandi Masuku. And I was also in charge of the policies. I was more in charge of the policy of the policy of the company for J&J. We were currently busy with auditing the policy and also having few changes in the policies, because every few years we always look at the policy of the company and change few things if necessary. Because remember, we need to give relevant information to certain people. So what we did was that we had to break down the policy and try to see what is very important and what is information which we feel like it was just extra information, which some employees don't really need. And I was also part of the team in terms of auditing the types of leaves and we'd make sure that we'd make a follow-up also in terms of the people that actually haven't taken leave, to actually ask why is it that they're not taking any leave. Because it's important that our employees are always working at their best health, and knowing that they are well rested. So I was part of the team in terms of auditing that, and I was also assisting in terms of the interviews and selection. I know the different platforms that J&J specifically prefers using to hire specific candidates for them. So one thing that I also picked up is that other companies have certain platforms that they use in terms of hiring candidates for them. You understand? And the nice thing is that the system that they used for Johnson & Johnson, it was a very simple, straightforward, like Indeed, where you seek candidates for certain positions. There's also a number of other platforms that we use in terms of hiring best candidates for certain positions, in terms of interviewing. I've interviewed managers. I've interviewed from management level, all the way from. Sorry about that. I interviewed all the way from interns, learners, all the way to the management level, subordinates, and all of that. So I've never interviewed CEOs, and also there's certain stages that we all have to go through, because remember, we work as a team. We work as a team. So we don't, you'll go through me, and then you have to go through my manager, and also you have to go through my other manager that's also into the HR department, or into the department where we are trying to take you into. Maybe it could be marketing, or it could be finance, and all of that. So there were different stages in terms of different stages of interviews as well. Another thing, even the previous company, Bella Vista School company, when I did my internship with them, I did my human resource internship with them. I worked with them for 2 years. Yes, I worked with them for 2 years. And working with them as well, it was exactly the same thing. You were using different platforms, even auditing for the leaves. And one thing that I've noticed is that the system that is used is not the same. It's not always the same. Every company has a preferred system that they want to use for hiring candidates, or for taking leave, or because you still get companies that are still old school, whereby you have to submit a form. Now you can do it manually. You can do it through technology now. Things have developed. Things are now on a different level, and I saw that through Johnson & Johnson. And I do have access to the internet. I do not have any problems in terms of the internet, in terms of the backup for load shedding. I do have a place, because remember, we always have a schedule for load shedding, whereby we have to be placed. I will make sure that I am placed at the specific place from this time to this time. And I'm always up to date in terms of the load shedding, making sure that the load shedding, by the time we get it, I know that I'm already placed at the right place for working, and knowing that I have electricity and I have Wi-Fi. It's not much of a problem for me. I have a laptop, I have a computer, I have headsets, I have everything that you guys need in terms of working. The only thing is just that I feel like that I have to be shown, because I can see you mentioned